Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be about how I edit and retouch my photos. I've had questions about how I edit my photos a lot. Yeah, today I'm going to add on to how I retouch my photos. Today's images are brought to you by my Instagram stories. Like always, I put up an Instagram poll and asked which image you guys wanted to see me retouch, and you guys voted, so I'm going to give that to you guys. But if you don't already follow me on Instagram, make sure you go ahead and do that, because you can vote in polls like this, have effects on what you're going to see in the video. And not only that, you get to kind of like see my everyday life and some behind the scenes of some shoots and all that other stuff. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. It is the same exact thing as here, at Elise Bird, and I'll make sure I leave it linked in the description below. And yeah, aside from that, let's get into video editing. Like I said, you guys were voting on my Insta story poll. It was this one right here of Maya, and the reason why I said one of the photos you don't know is because it's going to be this one of Angelina. And the reason why I chose these two photos is because I kind of want to show you guys how I edit and retouch in two different like lighting scenarios, and not only that, but also how I like retouch skin tones and how I edit skin tones, because obviously these two girls are very different skin tones, so that is very important to me. I always want to make sure that the skin tones are natural and look true to life. So yeah, that's why I chose these images. So enough talking, let's get to retouching. So I'm going to start on this one of Maya, and I'm just gonna edit in Photoshop, because I'm gonna retouch the image first, just because I feel like that's just the easier thing to do right now. In real life, if it was like really a photo set that I was sending, I probably would edit the photo first and then retouch, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna retouch. So as you can see, like, to be completely honest, she doesn't really need any retouching, like, if I'm being really truthful. So what we're gonna do here is, like, I'm not gonna do my usual retouching method. I'm gonna just do like kind of like quick touch-ups and things like that, and then on the other image I will show you guys how I would like actually retouch. So like for starters, I always like to make sure everything is sharpened correctly, so I just get the little sharpening tool right here and just go over the eyes. Even though my photo might be in focus, I mean, you can see the difference. It really makes the eyes pop. Sometimes I go to the lips, the nose, like the little details of the face, just to make sure that they can, like, you know, stand out a bit. And yeah, very subtle differences, but you get the point. Next, I'm going to use the dodge tool to lighten up her eyes just a bit. I'm actually going to change it to probably highlights, because I'm sure the white tool will probably pick up as a highlight. And yeah, lighten basically like her whole eye, including the whites of the eye, and then go a little teeth whitening. Don't want to go too crazy with it, because, you know, then it starts to look really unnatural, and we do not want that, because like I said, I like my images to look pretty natural. Actually, I don't really like the retouching on her lips, so I'm probably just gonna leave it like that. And yeah, and I mean, of course her eyes kind of look weird now because the image is like not edited at all, but that's basically what we're gonna do. And now let's talk about like skin. So I like to use the patch tool and the healing brush tool. She doesn't really have that many blemishes, so this is probably not a good image, but find a selection to do. All right, let's do this little patch like right here. Let's just slide it over. Yeah, this is like for more, I guess, nitpicky retouching if you want to. Really we're done. It shows you that you edited it before, after. I mean, mainly you see the main difference in her eyes. I sharpened her eyes, obviously. So let's go to editing the image. So as you can see, I have lots of presets, and usually, again, I would just use one of my presets that I have already made. Usually I use this fashion one. It's the one I created myself. Like, this is usually what I would use, and like adjust from there. But I'm not gonna do that. Joke's on you, I'm not gonna do that. I am going to try to hand edit for you guys. You guys right there, not here, right there. Let's just get right into that. First of all, I'm just gonna bring up the exposure and the contrast and bring up the highlights. I want this to be like, yeah, I want there to be like a contrast between her because she's wearing dark colors obviously, and then the background is white. All right, and then we're gonna go and bring up the shadows just a tad, bring up the whites again because I want there to be like a big contrast. I always bring up the clarity next, not that much, like maybe that, yeah. And I always like to bring the vibrance up and the saturation down. Don't know why, I just like the way it looks. Now I know most people would like go to the tone curve, but like, to be honest, I don't really like using the tone curve because it's just not my preferred method. I like to really use the HSL sliders and the color sliders, so that's what we're gonna do. So for starters, I always gotta make sure the skin tone is right, and right now I think her skin tone is like, it's a little pink, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know if I like it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this little adjust saturation thing, this little bar thing, and if you click on it, and this allows you to like go to any part of the image and kind of like select it, so whatever portion of the image. So I'm gonna do the skin like right here because it's catching up as orange. I can select it, hold it down, and like drag it up and down, and then it will just like adjust things, you know. We might bring the blacks down just a little bit. That might help the skin tone. Yeah, there's still like a cast of like magenta to me. Like, I feel like I can see that in her skin, but you know, we might be able to fix that with some with what is it, chromatic aberration. I never know how to pronounce that word actually correctly. And to be honest, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't really know what this does. I just keep moving things until something comes up that I like, and if I don't like it, I just exit and reset and act like it never happened. That might have helped a little bit, maybe not at all. Maybe that's all in my mind, who cares? We're leaving it like that. Yep. And so we can go down here to camera collaboration if we really want to. Camera calibration. Oh my gosh. And as you can see, these are like a very like small differences, but I do like it more in there because it takes away the magenta. And then yeah, so that makes her really purple, it makes her really yellow. Don't want that at all. I don't want to take the color too much away from her, but at the same time I don't want her to be like really orange or purple, because that's not what we do here. I think that's good. I think that's good. I think that's natural enough. Yeah, that looks so great. Wow, I'm amazing. I'm totally joking, guys. Just for fun. So if I do use a tone curve, I don't use the curve. I actually go down here to, you just click this and it changes from the curve, and or it will show you like the lines and you can adjust it. And this literally is just like doing the same thing with the tone curve, except I don't think with the linear, I guess that's what they're calling it, you can't adjust the colors. So if I wanted to do like some intense coloring, then I would have to go to the colored tone curve. We're going to do a mask. So we're gonna do a saturation mask. And we're just gonna color on this blue portion right here and desaturate that. And what the frick? So it's not like a distraction. That's basically what I'm trying to do. Like, I don't want it to be a distraction. Her hands are really dark. Like, I low-key just want to crop her hands off. I know you shouldn't do that, but again, I don't care. I'm gonna try to do some like dodge and burning. Usually I would do dodge and burning like in Photoshop, but I don't feel like reopening Photoshop. So we can do it in Lightroom, and you can just do it by this is a mask, yeah, adjustment brush. Sorry, I don't know why I called it a mask. I'm using an adjustment brush, and one of like the presets I already have in Lightroom is dodge and burn. So we're gonna use the dodge. Yes, let's fix that contour. So we're gonna press new, and then we're gonna go to burn, and we're gonna I don't know even know what contour is. Sure, let's say that's the contour. Let's say that's it. Let's say, oops, let's say it's right there. Why not, y'all? Photo, edit in Photoshop. Edit. Oh, apply Lightroom adjustments to copy. Yep. There we go. There we go. All right. So let's go and edit. Fix her under eyes. Healing brush. I'm being honest with you guys, editing for me is a trial and error process. Like, I don't ever have a set way of doing things. Like, I just edit every photo differently as well, depending on how the photo was taken, the person I took the photo of, the purpose of this image. Every photo is different and I edit them accordingly. So my editing techniques may not be as streamlined or clean cut as some people may like, but this is how I edit. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, let me press save again, and then go back into Lightroom, and then here it is, the before, and this is the after. And yeah, pretty much at this point I would probably just leave this image alone, just because I don't like going overboard with the editing. I don't think it's necessary, especially not for this image that's already simple, and she's already beautiful as it is, so I'm not gonna like try to do anything too extra at this point. So yep, that's how I edited that photo. Now let's go to this photo, which is gonna be a bit more of a process, I feel like. First things first, let's go to those lens corrections. Enable lens corrections, there we go. All right, that just got rid of some distortion. There wasn't much, but there was some. Now I'm just gonna play with these sliders, just see how I want this how do I want this image to be edited. I do know that I do want it to be kind of like almost like an angelic glow, so I do want like all the whites to be very white, highlights to be kind of blown out. I think that's good though. I think that's good. And I'm gonna crop it probably just like that anyway, so that's that before and after if you want to know. Now we're gonna go in Photoshop and edit some more. We're gonna do some of the color editing, and then we're also gonna do some skin retouching. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna do the skin retouching last. So I want this pink to be like more of like this kind of pink and not an orange pink, if that makes sense. Selective color probably will work. Yeah, all right, so we're gonna just go ahead and I'm just gonna do it the way I want it. We'll fix the fact that it's messing up with her skin later. Okay, I can always go back in and fix it later. So we're gonna go paint over the parts that I do not want to be adjusted, so basically like everything but her clothes. Yeah, and we're basically just erasing the color adjustment so that it's only affecting her clothes and not like her skin or the background. Okay, better. Yeah, I like that. So now it's like more of like a really like an actual saturated pink instead of it being like orange tinted. Let's do a photo filter. I'm doing the warming filter because I do want to bring some more color back into her skin and into the background, because if you see here, it's pretty blue, obviously, because I added that, but it's also just really flat, I guess would be the word, pale gray, whatever word you want to use. I just want to bring some more color back. So we're gonna make this a group so you can see. So this is the before, it's the after. What I do for retouching is, I'm going to be honest, I have an action that I downloaded off the internet a while ago. It was free from some website, I think called Photography BB, but I went back to try to like link it for you guys, and it is no longer like available, I guess. The website has a password protection on this article that I got this action from. So what we're gonna do is, I'm just going to like go through the steps that the action does. It's really just like a blurring action. It's nothing like so super like crazy. It just blurs the skin, makes it easier for me to start retouching. So the first thing you do is you convert it to a smart object, and you're going to do 2 copies of it, and I'm just going to name them. So you got a background copy, you have a smooth copy, and you have a details copy. So on the smooth copy, you are going to go to filter, blur, and you're going to do surface blur. The amount of surface blur you do is totally up to you. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then next you apply image, and I always forget where that is. So you click on the smart filter. Anyway, you click on the layer, there it is. You click on the mask layer and you press apply image. Yeah, there you go. And then you go to the details layer and you go high pass. And I just leave it basic because I don't really care that much. And then you're gonna press vivid light, and yep. And so the details one, so you can see, like if you zoom in like a lot, you can see that first of all the details made it, oh my gosh, I'm sorry if you can hear that, I don't know what they're doing outside. So it kind of did like a sharpening effect. And then the smooth obviously smoothed out her skin, but to me this is all like a little bit too much, so I usually just turn the opacity, sorry. I usually turn the opacity like really far down, and then I usually just turn the smooth pretty far down as well, and then I always make sure I go through and erase the smooth filter, smooth layer away from the eyes, because I don't want her eyes to be smoothed, and I always make sure I do it on the lips as well, because I don't want those parts to be smooth. That's usually what I do for like skin smoothing and all that jazz. It's very subtle before. You can see the retouching was very, very minimal. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, mainly because the model has great skin already. But yeah, it just works as like a light smoothing and a sharpening. So now we're gonna actually like start retouching the blemishes. So here I'm just touching up any blemishes or things that I think might be a distraction in the photo. Alright, so this is the before, this is the after, this is the one we retouched and edited. This is the before. Shut up. And yep, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Yeah, this is how I edit. Sorry if it's not like very intricate, very special. If you guys are assuming, like I said, every photo is different. I edit all my photos very differently. So just because I did this in this tutorial doesn't mean I do this for all my photos. It's just kind of like a basis of like my thought process. And yeah, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys give me a thumbs up. Make sure you comment and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.